Hey everyone, David MacDonald here from Fitness Calgary. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Q&A Thursday, where you ask us your questions and we give you answers. This week we got a question from Sarah, and Sarah asked, I'm in a plateau right now. What should I do so I can keep losing weight? So a plateau often happens for several reasons. The first thing we need to look at is, are you actually in a plateau? So what I define a plateau as is I define a plateau where you've had a period of about 4 weeks that have gone by and you haven't seen any change with inches, with weight loss, with body composition. Okay, so if 4 weeks have gone by and you have not seen any change, okay, then you're probably in a plateau. Okay, if your goal is weight loss and inches lost. So we need to define what a plateau is. Many people think they're in a plateau if they've gone by, or they've had a week gone by, or 2 weeks gone by, and they haven't seen any progress yet. You might not necessarily be in a plateau. You do have to wait, okay? Just because you don't lose weight 1 week doesn't mean that you're not going to lose weight the next week. Or if it's 2 weeks have gone by and you haven't seen any change, that doesn't mean that in the third week you're not going to see change. You might. So I would actually give 4 weeks to go by before you reassess and decide what has to change. Okay? So that's number one. Step two is you want to take a really hard look at your nutrition. More often than not, a plateau is caused by a lack of what we call dietary adherence or dietary compliance. All that means is there is a lack of follow-through on the end of diet or nutrition. So you're eating more than what you think, you're not following a structured meal plan, your portion sizes are more than what you think they are. So you have to really take a hard look at nutrition and diet. You have to actually see what you're eating. And you have to be specific about it. This is not a time to be vague, or I think I'm eating this, or I think it's about a cup. You really got to get specific, okay? Because it might be a matter of you're just eating too much food without even realizing it, and we really don't need to change anything. We just got to get stricter with nutrition. So what I would recommend doing, if you have access to a trainer or a nutritionist or a dietitian, you want to sit down with them and you actually want to have a food log available, and you want to show that food log to that person, and you want them to go through it with you. So what I would recommend is taking 3 days worth of eating, writing it down. Okay, so writing down specific quantities, specific amounts, all of your meals, all of your snacks, everything that you've drank in those 3 days as well, because there are beverages that are very high in calories. Okay, and you've done that for 3 days, and then you have someone sit down with you and assess where you're at from a nutrition standpoint and how many calories you're eating and what your portion sizes are. Okay. One of the questions I actually got today from a client is, well, how do I measure portion sizes? If you want to be very specific, there's two things I would recommend doing. I would use a food scale for measuring protein portions, and I would use a measuring cup to measure things like carbohydrates, nuts, and things like that. Anything in the morning, like breakfast cereals or oatmeal, you'd want to use a measuring cup as well. So you want to make sure that you're adhering to a nutrition plan that's going to help you reach your goals. And part of that is making sure that you're eating the correct amount of calories. You're finding that sweet spot. You're not eating too much where you're going to stay the same or you're going to gain weight, but you're not eating too little where you're going to drop your metabolism and your body's going to shut off fat loss completely. So first of all, you've got to look at where your diet is. Second thing we want to look at is we want to look at activity. So if diet checks out and your nutrition is great and you're strict and you're following the portion sizes and eating the calories you need to be eating, okay, then we look at activity. And what I would do if I was working with you is if your nutrition looked good and everything checked out, we would start looking at increasing our activity throughout the week. So we might add in another weight training session, we might add in an interval cardio workout, maybe you start doing a brisk walk every morning for 45 minutes. But at the end of the day, we're increasing activity so we can keep burning more calories throughout the week while keeping your nutrition the same, which will create a bigger calorie deficit, which means that you'll lose weight as we go on. In the next few weeks, you'll start losing more weight. So that's what we would look at there. I would focus on nutrition first, and then activity second. And then before all of that, you need to define whether or not you're in a plateau. So that's the simple, straightforward answer to this question. Thanks so much for asking, Sarah. And if you have any more questions that you want us to answer, please submit them on our Facebook page. You can comment on this video, you can leave your question, and we'll add it into our future Q&A Thursday videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.